You're invited to a party. Join in a special celebration honoring the life and legacy of Hawaii's greatest waterman, Duke Kahanamoku. On Saturday, August 24th, the sailing canoe Hawaii Loa will arrive with a gift for the people of America, a commemorative U.S. postal stamp honoring Hawaii's Ambassador of Aloha. Duke was known for his water skills, and on Saturday, you can take part in water activities in a once-in-a-lifetime festival and classic Hawaiian luau.
Olympian.
When he dove in the water, I mean, you could see that the man was made for the water.
Hero.
I want to thank you again for the rescuing me and saving my life.
Legend.
We're really talking about a larger message, in my opinion, that talks about the dignity and pride about being Hawaiian.
The Royal Mausoleum in Nu'uanu, where Hawaii's kings and queens, or ali'i, are laid to rest. It is here that thanks is given for the life of a man who lived as nobly as any monarch, a man who went by the name of Duke. Duke Poa Kahanamoku was born on August 24, 1890, and was one of the greatest swimmers who ever lived. His love for surfing also helped make the ancient Hawaiian sport an international pastime. He is one of the most recognized Hawaiian figures of all time, and yet when people speak of his accomplishments, it is his humble pride and smiling face they remember most.
What Duke gave to the world, not only with all the, being an athlete, being a great surfer, being a great man, he shared that aloha ke kahi ike kahi, the love that we share with everyone.
And that's the way what I think about Duke, spreading aloha all over the world. And I think he invented that word.
He became that ambassador of the kinds of values that propelled Hawaii and Hawaiian people into a level of distinction that, frankly, in the last 200 years has been absent.
It is here at Honolulu Harbor where a small entourage prepares to return Duke to his home in Waikiki, more than 30 years after his death. The ocean voyage will be a short one. In the meantime, let's take another journey, Duke's journey. one that began more than 100 years ago. Duke Kahanamoku was named after his father, a Honolulu police captain. He was the oldest of 9 brothers and sisters, all of whom grew up with a love for the ocean.
Brother Duke's childhood days were spent in the water and on the beach. But my father taught him how the old-fashioned method to swim when he was only 4 years old.
What was your dad's method of teaching you, Duke?
Well, that's a long story.
Yeah. As I say.
But he did it.
He threw you kind of over the outrigger canoe
over the canoe between the 2 outriggers. And I was splashing all over the place. Save yourself or drown.
By the age of 20, Duke had broken a world record at the 1912 Stockholm Olympics and won a silver and gold medal for the United States. He won 2 more gold medals at the next Olympics before he was finally dethroned in 1924 by the man who would become Hollywood's Tarzan, Johnny Weissmuller.
He used to watch me train and take care of me. He made me go back and get in that pool and work up and down. He was just like a big brother to the boys.
He gave me the work hard.
Yeah, but you know, funny thing, he never worried too much about himself. All he wanted to do was be sure that the United States got that 1, 2, 3 in the Olympic Games.
We did.
We did it.
When Duke wasn't competing or touring Europe, he was surfing. His favorite spot, of course, was back home in Waikiki, but it was in 1925 in Newport Beach, California, where his surfing skills and knowledge of the ocean would mean the difference between life and death. The Thelma, a 40-foot yacht, had capsized about 100 yards offshore. Without hesitation, Duke paddled his longboard into the pounding surf and saved 8 men from drowning.
Duke, I haven't seen you since you put me on the beach at Balboa. And you left me there, and we were in a hurry to get back to the boat to make a rescue of the other ones on the boat, which you did a marvelous job of.
Thank you.
And I have waited 32 years to thank you tonight.
It's a long time, but it's wonderful. Let the people see you.
Back to the Hawaii Loa, where our hero's journey is almost complete. Duke's childhood home, an area known as Kalia, is close by. On board, the crew prepares to go to shore, but not before giving a ho'okupu, an offering of thanks.
It doesn't stop just with our people, you know? It continues on. It continues on to every single living being that you come into contact with. And that's our way. That's what aloha is all about. To be in the presence of our Creator constantly.
As the Hawaii Loa comes in, a crowd gathers on the beach awaiting the arrival of the stamp. The scene is one out of old Hawaii when the common folk gather to greet the ali'i. A fitting gesture for Duke, who was always on hand to greet others.
Never turn down somebody, he tells me. You don't know the person, smile, say hello, and That's his way of preaching aloha.
That's exactly the way he was. I mean, this man would say hello to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he would always have a smile. I think most important, he could relate to people. And I think that's so important today.
People would come and walk and, oh, Duke Kahanamoku. And he was so polite, you know, and he'd say yes, and he wouldn't get up, but he'd put his hand out, you know, and he'd shake the woman's hand or the gentleman's hand, and after the person would leave, you know, I said, Duke, did you know that guy? He said, no, I never seen him before in my life.
Duke's
Joanne Kahanamoku, the daughter of Duke's brother Sam, says aloha was all Duke's siblings had for one another. Rare pictures of the brothers show a sense of humor which helped to keep Duke grounded even in the midst of Hollywood fame.
Go! We come for Son of Gods, son of Taratatu.
Up until the late 40s, Duke played small roles in several dozen different films, including this one with another famous Duke, actor John Wayne. Duke's friendly smile and international fame earned him a job as the ambassador of Aloha for the state of Hawaii in 1960. It was a position he took to heart, whether it meant saying hello to champion surfers, farewell to local celebrities, or just spending time with children with disabilities from Easter Seals, an organization Duke strongly supported. Looking back, Joanne believes her uncle gave so much aloha because he received so much aloha from his ohana, or family.
The relationship between the brothers were very, very strong, including the two sisters. Tremendous respect for each other. I've never heard any one of them say anything demeaning about each other. And the nickname for the brothers, whenever they saw each other, they always called each other kid. Hi kid, hey kid, what you doing? You know, that kind of stuff. So you could feel the love.
Duke Kahanamoku died on January 22, 1968, but his legacy lives on through his memory, and now through his stamp. Perhaps when people think of Hawaii and the spirit of aloha, they will once again remember the story of the smiling bronzed Hawaiian with the chiseled features and huge heart. A man whose face will once again be seen around the world, and whose spirit some believe still lives as Kamakani, or the wind.
When we brought the Hawaii law in, the Kamakani came in. The Kamakani blowing in, that was the Duke bringing us in. And that same Kamakani, when he was here today, as you notice when the postal stamp, that was the Duke. He was telling us that he was present.
I remember once he says, "Hey Kyoki, go sail with me, go sail with me." The wind was a little further out where this other guy was, and they started to pass us. I said, "Hey Duke, they're passing us by." He says, "No problem, watch." He started whistling, and he whistled for the wind. And I swear to God, when he whistled, the wind changed. The wind came by us, and boom, we went right by these guys. So I knew that he had a connection to the spirits above.
What would he have liked to pass on?
My guess, believe in dreams. Believe that you can accomplish anything that you think is valuable and you're willing to work for. He was both the hero and the role model for all of us, that you can be something of greatness, and I think he would want that for our children, and I think our children need those kinds of heroes, both in their minds and deeply well embedded in their hearts.
If he can be a legacy or an example to not just Hawaii, but to the world, then let it be.
Sometimes at the evening tide, I miss your smile, and I wonder what it would have been like if you came and stayed a while. Laughing in the waters of a clear mountain stream, looking into your eyes, I thought I saw my dream. But honey, until you blow my love to my side, I'll be riding like a seabird on the tide.
Every surfer, every paddler, every waterman can trace their roots back to Duke Paoa Kahanamoku.
He was the embodiment of everything we know and love about Hawaii.
Kahanamoku's reach extends far beyond the Hawaiian Islands. Known as the father of international surfing, the life and legacy of this legendary man were honored recently on the 112th anniversary of his birthday. Family, friends, watermen from around the world, and the people of Hawaii.
Because Duke is a great symbol, especially the young Hawaiian people.
It is a fitting tribute to Hawaii's greatest citizen of the 20th century.
Duke Kahanamoku, a full-blooded Hawaiian, was the best swimmer of his time, winning 6 Olympic medals in a span of 2 decades, 3 of them gold. But more importantly, this descendant of Hawaiian royalty reigns supreme in the waves, the king of surfing and its ambassador, traveling and introducing the sport to the world. But it's not only what he did that Duke's truly remembered for, it's how he did it.
I learned a lot from him just by the way he did things and the way he saw things, and most especially the way he appreciated those things in life that money can't buy. And I think that was the man's real wealth. He knew that friendships and being able to paddle out and catch a few waves and enjoy the blessings of Hawaii and nature were his real wealth. And that spirit is the spirit of Duke Kahanamoku.
So, how did the watermen of the 21st century honor arguably the greatest waterman of all time on his 112th birthday? Well, the day Kahanamoku was honored with his own stamp, they served, they raced, they battled, and for a moment, stepped back into yesteryear.
Only one word, a natural. He had a mistress, and that was the ocean, and when he was in the ocean, he's with his element. He was just a natural athlete.
Waikiki's premier ocean sports festival is made up of dozens of competitions and special events that coincide with the date of Duke's birthday, August 24th. The annual sports festival begins with a special lei draping of Duke Kahanamoku's statue, a powerful and moving tribute to Hawaii's greatest athlete who won 6 Olympic medals, including 3 gold medals in swimming, and is recognized as the father of international surfing. In his prime, Kahanamoku was the world's fastest swimmer, the single most influential person in popularizing surfing worldwide, and was revered as Hawaii's ambassador of aloha.
He was a heck of a role model. You know, clean-cut guy, always doing the right thing. You know, and my parents knew him, my grandfathers, both of them knew him. And so it means a lot to me to come here and surf and shake everybody's hands and just have a great time in the ocean.
The week-long festival features a thrilling mix of events, including surfing competitions for teens, amateurs, pros, tandems, and the physically challenged. A Wounded Warrior canoe regatta, stand-up paddling, a 1-mile ocean swim, a lifeguard waterman challenge, paddleboarding, beach volleyball, and water polo on surfboards. The same way Duke, his brothers, and fellow Beach Boys did in the 1920s and 30s.
That's the important part, is that we're honoring the Duke and all of his accomplishments, and we try to reflect those in the events that we run. But by honoring the Duke, we're also looking at, the environment and what he contributed as a water person, as a waterman, as a lifeguard, as an ambassador, and this is a great way to honor his tradition.
With so many exciting competitions on full display, the Duke's OceanFest is one of Waikiki's most popular events. But there's one competition that stands above the rest. Literally, the Tandem Surfing Expression Session. The tandem competition features some of the best tandem surfers in the world, and unsurprisingly, most are of Hawaiian descent. Tandem surfers entertain and amaze the crowds with their skills and balance. Another crowd favorite at the Duke's OceanFest is the Going to the Dogs Surfer Competition. This event features furry, four-legged friends, mostly dogs, and one very special pig known as Kama. These furry surfers compete with their owners for the best wave, best tandem, and best costume prizes. The Duke's OceanFest is celebrated every August and is a must-see when visiting the famous Waikiki Beach on the island of Oahu.
This is one of the most spiritual, one of the most emotional contests I've been to. The amount of people here, the reason we're here for Duke's birthday, and the fact that we're here at Waikiki. My first trip was here in 1957, so it's like coming home and enjoying such a fine event. I mean, so many things going on. We're just thrilled and excited to be here. We'll be here for the next 5 years.
Not just the Legends competition, but the entire festival. It's a great, Corona's a lifestyle beer. And this is the epitome of lifestyle. When you put surfing, paddleboarding, stand-up surfing, swimming, water polo, volleyball, you've got basically all the activities that Duke Kahanamoku sort of pioneered.
Team competition is really good, and I especially like the idea, that we can raise money or consciousness for different organizations, like the Access Surf guys, or I like that. Yeah, the Duke Foundation.
I try to live by Duke's footsteps with the aloha spirit and sharing and trying to educate the younger generation about the importance of protecting our ocean and our beaches. I wish the aloha spirit that he started, that we all can live and this keep on passing on the aloha spirit to a younger generation. Hopefully they can keep the tradition going.
I think like I got it together, but I don't at all, no. And I've been told that desperate times call for same measures, but I don't wanna live with more pain than pleasure. And yes,
The young people put me up to it. Mostly I hide out down in Wailoa, but they put me up to it, so I came to the city. I feel very lucky to be with all the young people, and I admire all of them, and thank you very much. I want to say that I enjoyed myself, and I hope to be invited back next year.
Henry Ford had toes on the nose.
C4 is such a big name in the stand-up industry right now, and so we're really stoked to have them sponsor this event. It's really special to have this event in remembrance of him and to honor him, because he is the father of surfing, he made all of this possible for us, so I'm honored and stoked to surf for him.
Standout performances of the competition came from Maui's Slater Trout. At only 14 years of age, he ended up being the highest placed junior.
That we were invited to be involved in the event, with Gidget coming back, bringing the Queen back to Queens, as we say, and with Duke event, he's the legend, he's the Duke. Rabbit's our man, loves Rabbit and the programs that he does, and Gidget just loves to be involved, wants to get involved with all that we can do to help surfing and women surfing.
Hallelujah.
Father Neptune awards a golden.
Here at Duke's OceanFest, being part of the ocean is what Duke was all about. And so to come here and spend time in the ocean, to spend time in Duke's environment, to share in his aloha out there, that's really one of the components that makes everything so special here, is because we are competing and having fun in the area where Duke Kahanamoku competed, where he had fun.
At a young age, I learned that this beach is for the world. And I guess the Duke, he knew that a long time, way before us. So he took this beach around the world. And look at what we have now to show. The majority of the people are foreigners. And when they leave, they tell great stories. I've heard quite a few. I've heard them from Europe. When I went to Europe, I heard them in Japan. I heard them in California, even in New York. They all talk about Waikiki Beach. And I look, I listen, and I go, wow, I'm from that beach. And it's awesome.
I don't think that I would be the person I am today if it weren't for sports.
The sports have just kind of made me who I am. I think a lot of the different aspects of sports build up your character and your morality and your work ethic. So I have both swimming and water polo to thank for a lot of the things that make me me.
Our backstroke.
The legacy of Duke Kahanamoku continues to inspire me every single day.
What inspires me about Duke is how well-rounded he was.
Duke's spirit and legacy is one of great determination and resilience.
Duke Kahanamoku came from a really humble background.
Duke Kahanamoku actually struggled with both racism and also financial struggles.
He was born into a time where there was probably a lot of turmoil in Hawaii, especially between Kanaka Maoli and what the United States represented. But he didn't have any animosity towards the Americans, and he represented the United States in the Olympics, which I think is just really testament to his character and his spirit.
Famous, iconic person at the time, yet he carried the traits of humility, integrity, kindness, and sociability.
Duke was a Hawaiian from Hawaii, and nobody really thought much about Hawaii. It just shows that even if you come from a small island, you can do it, you can make it in the Olympics and even in the world.
Many people know Duke as an Olympic gold medalist, an actor, or the father of modern surfing. But what people don't realize is that disregarding his own safety, he personally saved 8 lives from a capsized boat using only his surfboard.
He really put other people ahead of himself in that situation, and that is just the ultimate showcasing of the Aloha spirit, is caring about other people as much as you care about yourself.
Duke's relationship to the ocean inspires me, but beyond that, I think it's what he is able to do with this relationship for the people and culture of Hawaii.
He was an ambassador for Hawaii. He was a sheriff for 29 years. That's rarely spoken about, but that's definitely worthy of respect. His legacy is that of the ocean and of mentoring other people and helping bringing them up or protecting them as he was a sheriff.
He was actually inducted into both the Swimming Hall of Fame and the Surfing Hall of Fame, which has only been done once.
This fall, I will be attending the University of Hawaii at Hilo,
Concordia University, Irvine,
Stanford University,
Duke University,
Cal Poly,
Chaminade University of Honolulu,
the California Baptist University,
Georgetown University,
California Maritime Academy.
I'll be attending Point Loma Nazarene University,
the University of Hawaii at Manoa,
Columbia University, UCSD,
Augustana College,
the University of Hawaii at Manoa,
Pacific University, Chaminade University of Honolulu,
the California Institute of Technology.
California State University, Fresno,
Menlo College,
University of Hawaii at Manoa,
California State University Maritime Academy,
Columbia Basin College,
Gonzaga University,
UH Hilo.
It is a great honor to be recognized by the ODKF and a tremendous privilege to serve as a representative of the spirit and legacy of Duke Kahanamoku. Thank you.
I would just like to say mahalo for this scholarship opportunity.
Mahalo for everything.
Mahalo.
Thank you.
You know, Dukes is all about Ohana. It's all about Duke's creed, and that's, you know, family and just sharing the aloha with people from around the world. You know, all of our oceans are connected, and all of us with disabilities, we're all connected in some way. So to share the stoke with them and see them out here competing, that's what it's all about. It's all about Ohana and getting people back in the water, and that's what Access Surf is about. It's about getting people with disabilities back in the water after onset of an injury, or if they come back from war, or whatever the case may be, that something got taken away from them. This is what Access Surf does. It gives them that opportunity back. It gives them that chance.
So the Dukes Fest, getting out on the water was so healing for me as an athlete in both wheelchair basketball and alpine skiing. I had a rough go in Sochi. I fell on my face and got knocked out, and you know, I'm really having a hard time with those sports right now, and I just needed to feel free and feel the ocean, and I feel rejuvenated. I have a new spirit about me, and I really I feel like it's great to be a part of something that will allow you to be so free out on the ocean.
This program here, especially Access Surf, is one of the best programs that I've ever been to in the world. You know, they look after everybody here. You know, they get you in and out of the water. It's something that I've never ever seen before, and it's, you know, just the whole community getting involved with it. It's just beautiful to see and be part of.
18 years since I've been in the water, and I met Kara from Access Surf, and she told me to come out and try it. And first time on the board, she saw me and asked me how long I've been surfing, and I told her this is my first time, and she said, well, I'm entering you in a contest next month.
This is our 8th year having a challenge athlete surf competition during Duke's OceanFest, and this year we have just absolutely doubled in size. We have 30 competitors with 6 different divisions, and this event here at Duke's OceanFest is becoming quite a prestigious event for adaptive surfing. And I think this year proves it, that, you know, this is the desired place that people want to come.
Surf with a legend, cheer for your keiki, paddle with our wounded warriors, spike in the sand, swim with hundreds of your best friends, kanikapila with us at the Legends Luau, at the Outrigger Duke Kahanamoku Foundation's 15th annual Duke's Ocean Fest, honoring Duke's legacy, Waikiki's premier ocean sports festival. Be part of the fundraising tradition and support Duke's Kids, Saturday, August 20th through the 28th. DukesOceanFest.com.
It's all about celebrating the service and, more importantly, the sacrifice of our wounded warriors, and to recognize them for their heroism and their commitment to our nation. The Duke is a hero and a national treasure, and to see all that he has started and his service to our nation as an Olympic swimmer, father of surfing, and all of these great water sports that we enjoy today, you know, he really set the way And as we opened up this morning and we thought about the Hawaiian traditions that bring this to us, it's absolutely, I'm honored and to be here and to be on a team that's paddling.
Duke's OceanFest is one of the good things about Hawaii. Celebrate the premier ocean sports festival and the legacy of the great waterman Duke Kahanamoku at Waikiki Beach, August 20th through the 28th. For more information, go to hawaiinewsnow.com.
We hope to carry on his legacy in Hawaii and just spread the aloha throughout the world and our islands, and just the enjoyment of the ocean and the water and what that does for our souls.
Here they go, here they go. Got a winner, we got a winner. One of the most influential figures in the world of surfing, Paul Stroud Jr., is one of the few surfers who can say they were mentored by the great Duke Kahanamoku. Paul was already a champion teenage surfer when he was selected to be a member of Duke's surf team in the 1960s. Still surfing in his 70s now, Paul continues to pass along Duke's legacy at the annual Duke's OceanFest.
I've always felt privileged to be introduced at an early age. I was 4 when I was taken down to the Waikiki, and my dad was very patient, and so he'd take me out on his 10-foot redwood board there was no fins on at that time. We'd go out to Baby Queens, turn around and catch a wave, a small wave, but it was just, I marvel, and I never forget that image of seeing all the fish dart back and forth between the seaweed as we're approaching, and the board would scare them away, but oh my God, it was like being in a giant aquarium. And then riding right up on the beach with the board with no fin on it. And so it was that introduction that made me realize how special Waikiki is. I remember, I think I was 14 or 15 at the time. Bruce Brown I met and really liked him, and he'd come out with different movies, but The Endless Summer was his really truly claim to fame. It was a fantastic story about surfing and about all these different countries that have in one way or another been influenced by surfing that all started here, in Hawaii. And my relationship with Duke also played a big role with that too. And my dad knew him because they were friends, and so that's kind of the introduction that I had to Duke. I was just so fortunate to have had that experience. It's such a privilege, and I'll never forget that. I think often about Duke and miss him very much. Duke Kahanamoku had a gas station on Montserrat Avenue. Kimo McVeigh, who had the restaurant right there in International Marketplace, he went and filled his gas, and one day, and he says, we went to pay the bill, and he says, "Aren't you Duke Kahanamoku?" And he says, "Yes, that's my name right there on the station header, And so he says, "What are you doing, pumping gas?" He says, "Because it's my business." He says, no, we got to do something else. You shouldn't have to do this, or shouldn't even be seen putting, gas in a tank. So I'm gonna see what I can do. And then he was a showman as well, and so he arranged to get Don Ho and the Elite East to sign a contract, and then became part of the show. And so that all really just blew up Duke's name, and brought it to a more contemporary crowd. Kimo would, share the experiences that Duke, made for Hawaii, that made it so popular as a tourist destination, and his great surfing and his Olympic medals and swimming. And so it all kind of came together. He always wanted me to sit next to him. And I said, "Oh, you really want me to sit next to you? Why?" He says, "Well, because you can understand Hawaiian, and I like to talk in Hawaiian, so I don't want to be offensive to anybody else saying something in English." And he was a very, very sensitive man. So I said, "Sure, I'd be happy to." And so, and plus I cannot hear that well, so if you restate the question, I would lead the question back to him, and it worked so well with him. And we were on a trip to California with Fred and Butch and myself. Kimo arranged to have us front row and center for the Sammy Davis show, which was fabulous. It was like an hour and a half long performance, and it was just incredible. So after the show, Kimo says, "You guys sit here, I'll be right back." And he says, "I have great news, Duke. You can't believe what I arranged. We're all going back to Sammy Davis's dressing room to see him. Isn't that great? Are you excited, Duke?" And he says, "I think I'm gonna go back to the room." And so Kimo says, "You don't wanna go and see Sammy Davis Jr.?" And he says, "He was like 5 feet away from me for over an hour." I saw a lot of him, And it was so cute, so special. But Duke had that way of communicating, but he still never lost his graciousness,
She was the first Native Hawaiian Paralympian to compete in any sport at the Brazil 2012 Games, exactly 100 years after Duke was the first Native Hawaiian Olympian in any sport. Like Duke, she's an all-around aquatic champion and enthusiast, not to mention a world champion in surfing, paddling, and kayaking. In 2002, she completed her first long-distance prone paddleboard race, meaning lying flat on a board, from Mauna Lua Bay to Waikiki. We'll let her tell that story. Please welcome Ann Yoshida.
Access Surf is that community that helped me re-identify with who I was as a surfer before I was in a car crash that left me paralyzed. And that empowered me. The whole process of regaining my identity helped empower me to do so many things in life. And I really would not have, I don't think I would be where I'm at if I didn't go back and I didn't get to surf. Before surfing was at Duke's, there really wasn't a lot of competition. There was, adaptive surfing could happen. People were doing it, but where could we take it? I've gone around the world and surfed and shared adaptive surfing with others and shared my experience with adaptive surfing. And it is amazing what is happening in the world. Adaptive surfing really is pulling together and creating a community of strength, a community of watermen, a community of innovating what a disability looks like in people's eyes. So when Dukes and OceanFest, brought in the competition for the first year, it solidified it. Hey, Duke Kahanamoku's legacy is picking up adaptive surfing as a competitive sport. It strengthened the sport. It has come a long way. And I think one of the main goals for adaptive surfing is to make adaptive surfing a para sport in the Paralympics. I think there's a huge possibility. It might be a possibility that I even get to compete. My thoughts and my eyes are there, but now I'm trying to create the plan. And I would love to represent Hawaii in the Paralympics for surfing, because that is my identity. That would be like full circle. Hopefully I create a legacy, that of one that Dukes has created, to develop the sports, but also to develop the culture and share that with the world, really. The Waterman Hall of Fame is something that I've always looked as, you know, the pinnacle of the watermen. And I didn't realize that when I was inducted, I was like, no way, I can't do this. I don't think I did anything really, but that helped me realize that what I was doing was on the right path, you know, and that sharing the sport, sharing the knowledge that I have, the mana'o that I have, really does help empower people to be active, to get out and practice their culture. People of the ocean, they don't have to get, you know, accolades or, you know, medals or anything like that. What they can do is just do what they can do and live their extraordinary. Enjoy it while you can. There are seasons in life, and those seasons, opportunities come. And when opportunities come, don't pass it by. Don't let fear stop you. Get involved, get knowledgeable about whatever you're doing, have faith in your abilities, and be able to laugh at your mistakes and allow those mistakes and those weaknesses and those failures to refine you as a person, because it will if you allow it to. I would say get out and do it.
Only 31 years old, the four-time Beahi Challenge champion has etched his name among the best big wave surfers of all time. After dealing with several traumatic events during his career, Billy Kemper still secured victories in several events at Sunset Beach, won multiple XXL Ride of the Year awards, became the Big Wave Tour World Champion, and dominated the lineup at Jaws. In February 2020, during a strike mission to the fabled Right Point Breaks of Morocco, Billy endured a near-fatal wipeout. While setting up for a barrel, he was pitched off his board, went over the falls, and was knocked unconscious, resulting in a broken pelvis, a collapsed lung, cracked ribs, and a knee that needed to be reconstructed. A year later, he's already back in the water, surfing as strong as ever.
You know, I've surfed in so many surf contests around the world, and events like the Duke OceanFest is something that stands out more than a surf competition. You're talking about a foundation, you're talking about the legacy of the man who put Hawaii on the map with the Olympics, with the birth of surfing, you know, anything that has to do with the legacy of Duke Kahanamoku. It just really turns things very prestigious. When surfers are asked, you know, what's motivated them or inspired them to really, you know, pursue this health and awareness and training and all that, without a doubt, all that inspiration is coming from, you know, Duke. You know, that was the forefront of it. You know, the birthplace of surfing, the first Hawaiian to ever win a gold medal. I feel like surfing did not get the recognition of an Olympic gold medalist, you know, as a professional athlete. Surfing didn't get that for years. And I feel like right now with, you know, I'm so honored and grateful to be a part of this generation and a part of this movement of surfing getting the respect of, you know, the opportunity to compete in the Olympics. We're looked at as athletes now, training, physical therapy, taking care of your body, recovery. There's so much that goes on before the surfing that decides most likely what that result's gonna be. And I wanna be living proof of, you know, pro surfers are professional athletes, and whether we're holding Olympic gold medalists or, you know, riding the biggest waves in the world, I want that respect, and I feel like it was lost. And I feel like this is bringing back the birthplace of surfing, bringing back the legacy of Duke Kahanamoku and the athleticism that he brought Hawaii on, put Hawaii on the map for. You know, you can't take that away from Hawaii, you can't take that away from our state, and I just feel like we're at a point where we're getting that respect back. You know, as a surfer, as a surf fan, as somebody who just lives for surfing, this has been a dream of mine. I'm not competing in the Olympics this year, but it's been a dream of mine to see my friends, to see my sport be on the Olympics. You know, most importantly with two of our own, you know, to have John Florence and Carissa Moore, two people Hawaii born and raised, go represent Duke Kahanamoku in the birth of surfing in the first year ever at the Olympics. It's such an honor, it's such a cool time, and I think, you know, without Duke doing what he did, none of this would be possible. I feel like to give back to his legacy, his family, and the state of Hawaii, you know, this is what it's all about, and it's humbling to say that I'm a part of it.
We're here at Waikiki Beach at Queen's Surf, home of Duke's OceanFest 2019. This year we've got just a magnificent lineup. We have over 22 events, 2,500 athletes competing during the festival. Some highlights are Matson Menehune Surf Fest, going to the dog surfer competition, the Duke's Waikiki Longboard Contest, Duke's Waikiki Ocean Mile Swim. We have volleyball, we have surfboard water polo, you name it, we've got it.
Any other event that I've participated in, this one means a lot to me because of the legacy that Duke left with my dad that trickled down to me, and then to be able to, you know, compete in honor of Duke, pretty awesome.
It offers everything that Hawaii and the ocean has to offer. I mean, to be linked to that name, Duke, is a really big thing, especially for me.
One of the reasons why we're here is because the events that we have at Duke's OceanFest are all events that Duke Kahanamoku himself participated in. He was a canoe paddler, a surfer, a swimmer, was a volleyball player, a surfboard water polo player. So connectivity is very much in honor of Duke.
You get to see a little bit of everything out here, which is a lot of fun because you don't always see the same group of guys going out at heat after heat after heat. You're seeing girls going out, you're seeing kids going out, you're seeing older guys going out, you're seeing tandem going out, you're seeing pets going out on boards. I mean, it's just awesome the way they have all this so diverse.
Whatever it is, canoe paddling, surfing, swimming, stand-up, boogie board, foil, whatever the next thing, it's all together and more to come.
The opening ceremony is really always a special event for us. It's where we really start off the competition for Duke's OceanFest and honor his legacy by putting lei on his statue.
And just keep thinking about Duke, what a wonderful person he was. It brings me to tears sometimes just thinking what we share with each other is aloha. You don't pick who you share aloha with. Duke shared it with everyone.
We're here at the home of Duke's Waikiki, and we're getting ready to start the Duke's Waikiki Ocean Mile Swim. We've been doing this race for over 18 years now. It's a mile swim out in the ocean, and we do a stagger start. The men go off first, 5 minutes later the ladies go off.
And this year we have almost 400 participants, so the energy is awesome. There's a bunch of really tough swimmers out there.
Seeing all my friends, and it's all the same crew. Every summer we get together and do these races, and swimming's an individual sport, but when we get a big race like this and see everyone come together, it's really nice.
Our youngest swimmer today is 8 years old. Our oldest swimmer is probably in their late 70s, early 80s. So there's a very diverse group.
I like swimming because you can look around at all the stuff in the ocean and fishes and other animals.
beautiful conditions today. Water temperature was just perfect, not too much of a current, but there was a bit of a sandbar out there which changed the dynamic of the race quite a bit.
So we were all kind of in a train there, and then I kind of scoot over so I could go around, I guess. And then I ended up in front, and then they were behind me, and I didn't realize until the last buoy, and I was like, oh man.
This year we have the Pacific Tandem Surfing Contest, and we have 12 teams out here competing in Waikiki. They're surfing at Queen's Surf, and it's really a spectacular, eye-catching crowd favorite.
So you have some fathers and daughters, you have regular partners that have been together for a while, and you have new teams as well. So you just go out there, catch waves together, paddle together, stand up together, and usually the guy will put a girl in a lift, or 2 or 3 or 4, and try and surf as hard as they can.
Kind of the biggest roadblock between people taking on tandem was they never had a big enough board. But now with the stand-up culture, almost everybody has a big board in their garage and looking for something cool to do with it. You want to take out your keiki, you want to take out your sweetheart, your pet. You know, it's a good fun way to get in the water together and enjoy the stoke of surfing.
A lot of people don't know what tandem surfing is all about. So obviously people see normal surfing, but when they see us tandem surf and see the variety of lifts and difficulty of lifts that we do, they're just blown away.
Depending on where you're at, it's very rare to see a team in the water. So when you see one out there, it's usually your eyes drawn to them. It's like, oh, a big board, 2 people. You don't know what they're gonna do or how they are, so it's exciting.
Calvin and Susie Surfer Competition. We started that event about 4 years ago, and it was just sort of a fun thing that we decided to do, and now it's all of a sudden turned into a very big event here.
Today we've got 16 dogs and a duck surfing with us. We've got a huge crowd on the point watching and loving every moment.
We've been coming to Duke's Ocean Fest for like 5 years now. It's some seriously good stoke and the spirit of surfing. She's the longest competing, most awarded surf dog, but we just kind of do it for fun now. It's been 13 years, so she's almost like a grandma.
And Daffy here is being allowed to surf with all the 4-legged surfers today, so she's a feathered surfer.
Just the energy and spirit of animals, and then being able to tie it into the love of ocean and the love of water sports. I think honestly that's what Duke's Ocean Fest tries to do.
Surfing by itself is already a nut sport. I mean, you're walking on water and now you add an animal into the equation. I mean, everybody loves cute animals, and you put a cute animal on the surfboard, hell yeah, it's the best recipe.
Matson Menehune Surf Fest is, to our organization, a very, very special event. It brings together the keiki, and the keiki really is what our future is about. So everybody just loves it. I mean, you talk about big smiles on their face, they love it. They're in the water. Mom and dad love it because it's a great way to introduce their keiki to a surf meet.
They like coming because you can get these little kids with their parents, pushing them in the Kukua division. We're out there to help them, make sure they don't bump into the walls or fall and get hurt. And a little bit older ones are outside at Queen surfing.
And so it's really gratifying to see these kids come out every year. They get a little older and they get better. They really kind of advance to good competitive surfers, but more important, they're good kids.
Our longboard contest is, shall we say, for adults, but it starts off with juniors. Our junior division is 17 and under. But we have our divisions that run all the way to 60 plus, and that runs all week long. And so we have well over 100 competitors in the longboard contest.
I am in the women's 18 to 29 amateur division. It is judged, but I see it more as a fun event and to just come together and celebrate the aloha spirit that Duke Kahanamoku portrayed and to get the community come together.
Every time I go surfing, I come out of the water a new person. When I'm out there, nothing matters. I don't think of any problems, anything that I gotta do. It's just in the moment. It's definitely a spiritual world out there for me. I go out there to get away and clear my mind, and it always does me good. It's never done me wrong.
I love surfing. I love the ocean. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel positive. You don't bottle up any kind of emotion or any kind of feeling, you know, you're always just positive.
Hawaii, you shared your treasures and your heart with me. We had a dream, a surfer's wish, to travel to your shores, to see the Duke and pay respect and homage. With open arms, he welcomed us to golden sand and sea. Eternal Duke Aloha will always be with me. Aloha, Hawaii. Hanalei, boys blue and white. Mahalo, Hawaii. You shared your treasures and your heart with me. Mahalo, Oahu, mahalo, Kauai, mahalo, Maui, and Molokai. Oh, beguiling, shining bright. Oh, Hawaii. You shared your treasures and your heart with me. We had a dream, a surfer's wish, to travel to your shores, to see the Duke and pay respect and homage. With open arms, he welcomed us to golden sand and sea. Eternal Duke Aloha will always be with me. Aloha, Hawaii. Hanalei, boys blue and white. Mahalo, Hawaii. You shared your treasures and your heart with me. Mahalo, Oahu, mahalo, Kauai, mahalo, Maui, and Molokai. Oh, beguiling, shining bright. His birthday celebration, OceanFest out in the beach. The surf and swim and stand up watermen on their beach. They're loving of the ocean and the legends of the past. Carry on the name Kahanamoku. Hawaii. Hanalei for you and life. Mahalo, oh thank you, Hawaii. Appreciate your treasures and your heart. Yes, surfing is the only life for me. Eternal Duke Aloha be with me.